does it mean to be an adult? Do I pay my bills? Do I take my pills? Do I fake my skills? Do I buy in bulk? What the fuck does it mean to be an adult? Go to bed on time, work a 9 to 5, drinking wine, get a watch that checks my pulse. Oh, up at noon every day, loading bowls of weed and cereal, hiding all my problems behind my materials. This life after college is one I did not foresee. That's what you get when you spend 4 years sneaking by with an art degree. Oh, when it hits you the most, when you're lying in your bed, and it's that moment you know that your childhood is dead. The more you try to bring it back, whoa, the more you fall behind, thinking, has my life lost its meaning, or has my meaning lost its life? What the fuck does it mean to be an adult? Do I pay my bills? Do I take my pills? Do I fake my skills? Do I buy in bulk? What the fuck does it mean to be an adult? Go to bed on time, working 9 to 5, drinking wine, get a watch that checks my pulse.
You guys ready to have fun tonight? This is going to be a night to remember. You're going to be glad you were here.
I want to come home covered in mud and get stickers for the things that I did.
My 11-year-old came up to me and he's like, Dad, he shot me in the nutsack with a Nerf gun. I'm like, guys, how many times I gotta tell you this? It's called a scrotum. It's like, Dad, he shot me in the nutsack with a scrotum.
How are you? Good to see you. I'm your future ex-wife. Where's my fucking weed? How are you? I remember you. You took your clothes off. Nice to see you dressed. How are you? These are my kids. How you doing wearing the stripes the wrong fucking way, you skinny prick? I shit more than you weigh. Wake up, kid. I'm gonna test you soon. Get up on my back. I'm singing CLC. I don't want...
Being an adult might be better than it seems. I get to drink and smoke and gamble.
For this, okay? Bro, grill marks on the watermelon. They're the nicest people I ever fucking met. Grill marks on the watermelon. And I'm just sitting there with that shit on the plate going, they should figure it up.
To be an adult. Do I pay my bills? Do I take my pills? Do I fake my skills? Do I buy in bulk? What the fuck does it mean to be an adult?
I saw myself in the mirror in the way and I'm like, fuck! I look like a Bosnian gymnastics coach. It's not what I wanted.
To be an adult.
We're here. We're here. Are you ready?
Yeah!
This next guy, I promise you, you've seen him around. Welcome to the stage, Mr. Robert Punchur.
I would like to begin with this. Ready, set. Hello. Hi. Okay, and surprise, huh? Some people are kind of confused right now. This guy looks familiar. Do you understand the situation? We got the scenario. We're out of comedians. We just refuse to let you folks go home right now. After me, the busboy is going to do 10 minutes, and then it's your turn, man. You ready? So, fuck it. Why not? At this point, anybody can. I am a comedian as well, guys. I am in year 10 right now of a 2-year plan to get famous after high school. Yeah. And here I am still serving the drinks, so it's going pretty well. I put my balls in all of them, by the way. I just want to let you guys know that. Every last drink, even the beer bottles, and that hurts me, but I do it because I commit to the bit. No, I go hard for the goof. I take the beer bottle, I take my ball sack, I rest it on the lip of the beer bottle, I take my thumb, and I just, whoop, bow, huh? Salty Corona, okay. 10 years I've been serving the drinks, 10 years I've been telling that joke. Could not have got away with the same thing at the Olive Garden, so. And that is why I wanted to include it tonight for the taping of this debut comedy special that we're going to call Tenure, to mark 10 years in stand-up comedy. Yes, thank you. And thank you all so much, seriously, for coming out and being here. I really appreciate it. The rest is just some silly surprises that are in store for you. So.
Wieners, 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 wieners.
Hey, relish the moment.
Buns, 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 buns.
Thank you. And now. This way, if you don't like my comedy, you at least have to appreciate my stand-up. All right. Woo. Thank you. Thank you. Riskiest joke I'll do all night. The rest is just the story of my last 10 years with some of my favorite jokes strewn throughout. So here we go.
Hot dog, you're headlining.
Thank you. If anybody in here does not know me, my name is Robert Punchur, which I like. I think it's a good name. I think I would like it better if my first name was Richard, though. Yeah, you got it there. What's the first punchline? Dick Puncher, yes. Imagine that, going to a party where you don't know me, hearing someone call out, like, yo, guys, Dick Puncher's here. You'd just be like, what? Why? It's a silly joke. Makes me wonder, though, how much of a dick was my ancestor at Ellis Island to get us stuck with this last name, right? Because that's how it worked, right? Whenever new immigrants would first come to America, if the guy working at Ellis Island couldn't pronounce their last name, he just assigned them a new one based on their occupation. So if you're a baker, baker. You're a blacksmith, smith. If you're a prostitute, Kardashian. And I immigrated to New York. I did. I am not a native New Yorker, you can tell. It's kind of obvious. When I came up here, I smiled, and New Yorker's not going to do that, right? Because a New Yorker knows that showing your teeth in this city is either a sign of weakness or aggression, right? It's actually one of the quickest ways to make a New Yorker uncomfortable. Just smile at him. Try it next time you're on the subway, look at the guy across from you. And just go, howdy, neighbor, huh? You will get stabbed in the smile, right? And I did not know that because I am originally from a small town in Pennsylvania located just between Pittsburgh and Walmart. Name of the town is Butler. Has anyone heard of Butler? Yeah, there we go. Got some family in the crowd. Awesome. For the rest of y'all, if you have not heard of Butler, has anyone heard of a cornfield before? All right, if you've heard of a cornfield, you have heard of Butler. It is a very small town, very poor town, very white town. No electricity, just tiki torches, that kind of town. It's the only town where I've ever seen a gun shop and a daycare center run out of the same church. So that's how we work. We're little. We have to multitask. What's our yard in Butler? They had 2 hand-painted signs in it. First one said free dirt. The next one said manure for sale. You got that? Free dirt, manure for sale. Free dirt, manure for sale. And I'm going to do it one more time just for you, sir. Ready? Here we go. Free a dirt and manure for sale. And that's how they get you, all right? They lure you in with the free dirt, and then next thing you know, you're buying shit you don't even need. It's the old Butler hustle, huh? I like growing up there, though. I had a very country family in that town, too. My family was so country. I'll tell ya. So country, this is true. I had an Aunt Marlene, an Aunt Darlene, and an Uncle Munkle. Isn't that great? Dude's name was Munkle. He was my uncle. He was my Uncle Munkle. Very small town. Some of our highlights there included Pennsylvania's second largest prison and third most obese population. And what that means is we weren't even the best at being the worst at something, all right? That's like being second string quarterback for the Cleveland Browns or being vice president of the Trump administration. Just got him, boom, huh? Got him, nailed him, comedied him. I like doing the finger guns now, isn't it? Finger guns are fun. Classic comedy, right? Comedy. Hey, comedy. Okay, finger guns, comedy. I feel presidential doing the finger guns now, right? Now we got Uncle Joey doing them in office. Comedy, presidential comedy. Isn't that fun how every president has their own hand gesture? Right? There was the Clinton thumb, there's the Reagan peace sign, there's the Trump. Which made a lot of us want to just like... I will say this about Donald Trump, though. I will say, despite all of the regardless of his oogity boogity, oh no. Even with the fuck. Regardless of all that, Donald Trump still made me believe that anybody in this country, and I mean fucking anybody, can do anything if they put their mind to it, right? As I am saying that as someone who went from server to headliner tonight. And I mean, like, if somebody in this room had a heart attack tonight, I don't want it to happen. It would really fuck up the flow of the show. But if it did and somebody else called out, is there a doctor? Thanks to Donald J. Trump, I would feel comfortable saying no. No. But I think I've got this shit. Hold on. Let's make these arteries great again. Okay. Next joke. A lot of people in Butler voted for Trump. They did. A lot more would have if they understood that spray painting his name on the side of a barn didn't count as a technical vote. It'd be a rough place at times. I used to play a game in Butler growing up with my good friend Colin. I broke a lot of bones. Most of them belonged to Colin. And Colin and I would play this game called Stick, where what we would do is just take turns hitting each other with a fucking stick. And then the game would end when the stick broke, and we would argue about what that meant. I'd be like, dude, I hit you with a stick and the stick broke. I'm so strong. I'm stronger than a stick. I win stick. Yeah. And then Colin would be like, no, dude, you hit me with a stick and the stick broke. I'm so tough. I'm tougher than a stick. I win stick. And then the only way we could resolve it, another game of stick. We appreciated the simple things, you know? I also used to wrestle in that town, or wrestle, as we like to call it. I wrestled for 13 years. Don't mean to brag, but I won a lot of participation medals. Wrestling, it's a good sport, confusing sport, because it's the only sport that combines fighting with competitive cuddling. I do like that the violence is straightforward in wrestling, though. Right? I respect that about American sports. We don't try to hide the violence. You know, think about football. You're bombarded with violence in football. There's tackling, blitzes, spousal abuse, firearms. Not saying it's okay, but at least when it happens, it's front page news, you know? It's not the case with European football. Soccer, footy, as they like to affectionately call it. If you want to see violence in a game of footy, you have to look in the stands, okay? It is the only sport where the fans are 10 times tougher than the players. You ever seen a soccer player get injured? It is a show. He will stub his toe on a ball, then go down kicking and screaming like he is auditioning for Django Unchained. It is ridiculous. Arrogant soccer players, too. I think cockiest athletes in all sports. Think about it. Every player, every game, the entire time. Look, no hands. Ooh, ah, okay. At least soccer is a real sport, though. Right? There's some sports I don't think are real sports. Weightlifting. You think weightlifting is a sport? I think weightlifting is a sport like masturbating is sex. It's preparatory at best, you know? Don't care how much you oil up and grunt and groan. If someone else isn't there, it just doesn't count, you know? What about hunting? Is hunting a sport? If hunting is a sport, it's the only sport where only one participant knows they're competing, right? Think about that. The deer doesn't know. Yeah. The deer wakes up in the morning, looks at his wife, and goes, "Oh, hey, honey, I think I'm going to go catch some bullets with the boys before work." Again, that thought does not cross his mind until after the bullet does. Yeah, it doesn't work in other sports. Like, I can't just go and hide between some trash cans in New York, or like a gray hoodie to blend in, and then wait for you to walk past, and then just jump out and sucker punch you in the head and be like, "Ah, I'm the best boxer! Champion boxer right here, okay! I'm gonna take that head, put it on my wall, call it a trophy." It's not a real sport, does not work. Yeah. What about yoga? I don't think yoga is a sport because black people aren't better than me at it. Which brings us to track. No race joke about track other than the fact that it's track and that is implicit. Okay. I ran track for a season in high school. My whole motivation in track was the faster I run, the faster I'm done. And swimming was the same thing, but horizontally without oxygen. Or hiking. Hiking is a sport if you're wealthy and a necessity if you're not. And I was not growing up in Butler. I did not grow up with a lot of money, so my family would come up with these creative ways to conserve the food budget, right? Like, we were Catholic, but every year we would fast during Ramadan. Also used to do breakfast for dinner a lot. You guys ever do that one? Breakfast for dinner? Yeah, okay. Now hold on, because I don't mean pancakes at 8 p.m. I mean pancakes at 8 a.m., and then that's it. Good for the day. Hey, Dad, what's for dinner? Breakfast was. Oh, okay. Interesting dude, my dad. Real interesting guy. He was a biker type and looked the part. Had the hair down to his shoulders, tattoos up and down his arms. Always carried a knife on his hip, which was a tool, not a weapon. He made that very clear to me. The knife is a tool, goddammit. It's a tool. I believe he used it for peeling peaches or getting the parking spot that he wanted. A tool. He'd have weird advice for me growing up, too. Biker dad. He would always say these things like, eat your dessert first, because you never know when dinner will be poisoned. Right? I'm like, Dad, whoa. I am 7. I do not need this kind of stress right now. I knew he had stories when he was my age, but I didn't know the details of all of them, so I'd ask him. I'd be like, Dad, when you're in your 20s, you're out riding motorcycles. What were you doing, man? He's like, oh, I'll tell you what I was doing. I was making mistakes, okay? Making mistakes like drugs, crime, you and your sister. I'd be like, whoa, Dad, I have a sister? Full of surprises, that guy. This was a cool one. Whenever he was 40, he became a professional skydiver. Isn't that awesome? At age 40. Professional skydiver. That is like having a midlife crisis and then deciding, you know what? I'd rather this be an end-of-life crisis. But what's awesome as a kid to have a skydiver for a father, because like, every kid wants to believe that their dad is Superman, you know, and then my dad was actually out there flying through the sky. It was pretty cool. But then he had some of the same issues that people would have at their day jobs because it just became his day job, you know? So like my mom would come home complaining about coworkers, kind of like, oh, Kelly in accounting, ooh. Then my dad would come home, and he'd just like, oh, fucking birds, you know? I will say this, he taught me that we didn't have much materially growing up, but I could always pursue passion. I could always chase a life that I wanted by doing what I enjoyed, and I appreciate that. So thank you, Dad. For anybody, yeah. If anybody is sitting here now thinking like, hey man, we came here to laugh, and they got us like feeling things. What's up with that? Who do you think you are? Oh, hey, thank you.
You still like to juggle, son.
I will juggle.
Awesome for the flow of the show, okay?
Whatever.
We did a show. We're gonna break the fourth wall again at this point. My first theater show back in my hometown, I did at the Butler Little Theater, which that's another thing about Butler. We don't have a theater, but we have a little theater. I was so fucking nervous for that one too, and then I think it was probably at about that point in the show. They were smaller for that one. They were clementines. We've upgraded to full-sized oranges now. Came up and passed me the oranges on stages. Do a little juggling, yeah. I used to peel these into, I'll show y'all later after the show. I'm a pornographic fruit artist, guys, and I can peel an orange so that it looks like a penis, and it's a hidden skill of mine. We need to start this whole show over again. All right? Everyone slowly back out of the room. And I'm gonna bring you back in and take the drink orders again. And then we're gonna begin back with the opening acts. You'll be out by 2022, don't worry. We're just gonna rewind to the heartfelt stuff again. Thank you, Dad. For anybody that is sitting here thinking like, hey, we came here to laugh, and now you got us like feeling things, who do you think you are? I'm Dick Punchur, okay?
Hot sausage! That was my cue.
Yeah, thank you. We wrote this into chapters. That was the end of chapter 1, ladies and gentlemen. It's going pretty much perfectly. Okay, chapter 2, here we go. So along with filming this, guys, I also just last week shot a pilot. It's pretty exciting, right? Yes, thank you. Thank you. All right. I'm glad you guys are excited, because I'll tell you what, the airline was not. That's right, gave a whole new meaning to flying Spirit. And some people don't laugh at that part because it's a shooting joke, and other people don't laugh at it because it's a pun, and it's debatable what's worse, but I don't think that we should let fear keep us from talking about anything, right? I think we need to talk about shootings, and I will do it. I will take a stance on shootings right here, right now, tonight. Broadway Comedy Club, Tenure taping. I will take a stance on shootings. Ready? On your mark, get set. Against. Okay. Thank you, one person who sees my side of it. The rest of y'all who did not clap there, I can assume you're Republican. And I personally think that shootings are happening too often and in too many places, right? Churches, movie theaters, concerts, Walmart. Guys, I can remember whenever shootings were a school-only activity, okay? Remember that? The good old days, huh? Yeah. That is actually an anti-shooting joke. It is saying I'm reminiscent of when they were isolated incidents, right? Because now that worst part of the public school system is just out there in the open, and it has me terrified for what's next, right? And what's next? Pop quizzes at Popeyes? Substitute proctologist? No good. I wrote the joke after a public pool shooting. Remember that one, public pool shooting? It was a couple years back. It was terrible. They're all terrible, but who I was really worried for there was the lifeguard, right? Can you imagine that day? Your seasonal minimum wage job? You took the position, thinking it'd be a fun way to casually perv on your friend's mom's tits, and now here you are armed with only a whistle, a rudimentary knowledge of CPR and the butterfly stroke. Shots fired, swimmers start stampeding for safety, and you, as the lifeguard, have to tell everybody to walk, please. Please walk. There's no running for your life on the pool deck. It can get slippery. Okay. Now, at this point, if anybody is sitting here thinking like, hey, man, are you making fun of something that's intrinsically not fun? I do ask you, is that not the primary goal of a comedian? Right? To make fun where it doesn't previously exist. Is that not why we do this? Like, I recognize the world can be sad, and I want to make it a happier place. So to do that, I would like to offer y'all an impression. Can we do that? Can we do an impression? Yeah? Okay. This is my impression of peace and serenity in America today. Ready? Peace and serenity in America today. Here we go.
You can't fucking see it! Okay. That is that bit. Whew. I feel like it was especially true in 2020, right? 2020 was a very difficult year for all of us. A lot of difficult things in 2020. There's riots, protests, COVID, Cardi B and Kanye West as political figures. It was really a shit show of a year. So I wrote a song that I think encapsulates 2020. And this is it. This is my ode to 2020 in song. Here we go. Okay. I was 2020 in song, and I know this. Thank you. I know it is getting a little bit dark, but I do want the message to be a little bit more light. So if it's all right, I also wrote a song to help us get through the tougher times, and it's called "There's Always a Better Than Worst." And that song goes like this. Explosive diarrhea. Real quick, would anybody like another order, by the way? Chicken wings, perhaps? No, all good? Okay, all right. Explosive diarrhea. It's better to see ya than to smell ya or to feel ya. There's always a better than worse. Hitler. Moonlighting as a sexy wet nurse. There's always a better than worse. A rape van with a flat tire. A children's choir, only half on fire. There's always a better than worst. This song with one more verse. Okay, all together now. There's always a better than worst. We should have rehearsed. Okay. Extra, super gentle, consensual pedophilia. There's always a better than worst. Check, please. Okay, and now for something a little bit less controversial, a little bit more relatable. By round of applause, who here tonight thinks it's okay to have sex with a fourth cousin, huh? All right, thank you, sir. Immediate on that one. Butler out representing tonight. For the rest of y'all sitting here judging, I do want to reiterate it is a fourth cousin. Okay, a fourth cousin, and at that point you've already had sex with 3 others, so. In for a penny, in for a Paul, you know, huh? Yeah, okay. What about phone sex? Does anybody do phone sex? No? Okay. Me neither. I do not have phone sex because I don't want to get hearing aids, and it's a stupid joke. Also not true. I don't have phone sex. It's not because of the hearing aids. It's because the guy at the Apple store told me that that kind of insertion is definitely not covered by my insurance policy. The phone is in my ass in that joke. And that is where we have gotten to. Hey, I thought online dating meant my girlfriend could be a robot. Okay. I did date a real human girl once for 6 years, and that's not a joke. I appreciate you laughing at it. I feel like you're just like, challenge. Flag on the play, I don't believe you're not gay. Which is fine, I understand, because I do know what I look like, and it's like I'm not gay, but my face is. I've never sucked a dick, but my face looks like it probably has. A little bit of a gay face. But I did date a girl for 6 years. It was my high school sweetheart. Wasn't a very good student. 6 years. Oh, okay. I was all through high school 2 years after that, and I loved her. You know, I still do. It's that first one. It means a lot. You hold on to it. We're not in communication anymore, and I want to hold on to that positive memory of her. I want to face the reality of her being with other guys now. So what I do, and I think this is healthy, is I just tell myself that she died. All right, I feel like not everybody is on board with this right now. But that's my coping mechanism. Mm-hmm. And it works for me, but for it to work, I need to commit to it. And some people take offense to that. Her parents were not very appreciative when after the breakup, I mailed condolence flowers to the house. Other people thought it was in poor taste to write rest in peace on her Facebook page. That's how I deal. Mm-hmm. I am dating more now.
I'm a Scorpio. You know what that means, right? Scorpio, yeah. Nothing. Doesn't mean a goddamn thing. It means I was born in November, and that's it. Do we have any big believers in the horoscope here? Any zodiacs? Yeah? All right, there we go. What's your sign?
My sign is Sagittarius.
Sagittarius. What's the big Sagittarius trait?
Mind expansion.
Mind expansion? Well. That's why it's such a big word, Sagittarius. So many letters and syllables in there. Not Libra. Nah. Simple mind Libra. Sagittarius. Phenomenal. As a Scorpio, I get told that Scorpios don't like to be wrong. Have we heard that? Scorpios don't like to be wrong? Yeah. Real quick, by round of applause, who here tonight likes to be wrong? Nobody, right? Not even the Sagittarius. There's never been a case of anybody driving down the highway and miss their exit and just go, Oh, I love it when that happens. Would be upset, but lucky I'm a Libra. Whoop, extra driving time, yeah! Right? Nobody likes to be wrong. It's not a Scorpio trait, it's just a human trait. And that's my main complaint with the horoscope, is they're all way too vague, right? It could apply to anybody. Scorpios don't like to be wrong. Aries enjoy sex. Cancers are not fond of cancer. It could all apply to any of us. Yeah, I would respect it more if it was more specific. If I got the newspaper, I opened up to the horoscope, it said at 2:22 on Tuesday, all Taurus will lose continence of their stool. If you're a Taurus, you might be like, oh shit. Literally. Yeah, I think I'm gonna wear some brown pants on Tuesday. Okay, thank you, horoscope. Pew. My ex was a Libra and also an Australian bikini model, which I know makes it sound like she was also imaginary. She goes to another comedy club. You wouldn't know her. She was also a hypocrite, that girl. She would say that all women are beautiful, and then would get mad at me when I said that any specific woman other than her was beautiful. I didn't think that was fair, right? Technically, her sister fell under the umbrella of all women, so. We had an open relationship, her and I. It was not exactly ideal, because I was not exactly aware. Apparently, her legs are more open than our communication. That's how that one played out. I ended up catching her cheating, which sucks. Sucks when someone cheats on you, because it leaves you with all these unanswered questions, like, what wasn't good enough about me? And how do I dispose of this body? 2 women I've killed in the act so far, and I've had people get upset at me for that after shows, like, you should not do that. You should not hurt women in your act. I'm like, yeah, okay, maybe, but she hurt me for real, and joking doesn't seem as bad, right? How's the saying go? Sticks and stones may break your bones, but she sucked a dozen dicks, that whore. I think that sums it up, and still some people are like, that's heartless, and also you put off a serial killer vibe, which I think is kind of heartless to say to me, right? Like, and yet many people have said that to me. A lot of people have told me that I put off a serial killer vibe. It's usually the last thing they tell me. Thank you. I heard someone say that's good. And if you enjoy a joke, you can laugh at it, or you can wait until it's over and then verbally affirm me. That is good. I approve of your humor. Thanks. That part got a little crazy. We've all got a little crazy in us, though, right? Yeah. I got into an argument with my current future ex-girlfriend because of her crazy, and she doesn't like it when I call her that, by the way. Current future ex-girlfriend, not the best thing. She got mad at me for something that I did in her dream. Isn't that insane? In her dream, here's what happened. I was sleeping peacefully, like a baby. She shakes me awake. Shakes me. Exact opposite thing of what you should do with a sleepy baby. And I woke up, I was concerned. I was like, oh no, honey, what's wrong? She's like, don't you what's wrong me, Poppy. She's Puerto Rican. She calls me Poppy. And gonna be honest, I kind of like it. But I'm very white and I have no idea how to respond to it. So I'm just like, oh, whatever seems to be the issue, daughter. She said, last night in my dream, you tried to have sex with my sister. In her dream, I tried to have sex with her sister. And then in real life, I had to logically defend myself. Like, all right, well, listen, 1, I don't think you can be mad at me because that's a dream. 2, I don't think I did anything wrong, because I don't know if you realize this, see point 1, but that's a fucking dream. And 3, clearly we're meant to be together, right? We even have the same dreams, so. So I'm single again. And that was a little bit of a dickish joke, so I would like to follow it up with a dick joke, if we can. I don't do a lot of dick jokes. I do have one. I think it's kind of clever. I think it's kind of original. I would like to do it for you, but I would like to garner consent first because 2021. Is it okay if I do a dick joke? Yeah. Yes? Okay. Ready? Here it comes. Ladies and gentlemen, my dick joke.
Did you hear about the man with 5 penises? His pants fit like a glove.
Whoa! Ladies and gentlemen, my dick joke. Wow, what an asshole that guy, huh? All right. When I first came out to New York, guys, it was initially to go to school. I came out to New York to attend a Christian college, which was interesting because if I ever got a bad grade, I didn't know if it was because I didn't study hard enough or I didn't pray hard enough. Either way, I was like, I guess this D is part of the divine plan, huh? Yeah. F is for faith that it'll all work out in the end. Yeah, Professor? All right. Studied politics, philosophy, and economics while I was there. PPE degree, that's what they called it. It was a 4-year institution. I finished in 2. Did not graduate, just stopped going. I decided that I didn't need to be $50,000 in debt to decide a economics degree was not worth that. So I dropped out and I started doing this. Started telling jokes, doing comedy, and it's been awesome because I got to meet and become friends with all of these really good Jews and... Some people also get nervous there because you look like a Hitler Youth, and that's uncomfortable. It's a very dark room. You're a very white guy. We think we might have been tricked into a rally. It's all good. I actually look like the first gay Nazi. Right? I do not hate the Jews, but I love a man in uniform. But now, after doing this for 10 years, I can say, I'm not Jewish, but I am Jewish, you know? I eat kosher, but I also eat not kosher. I will buy bacon, but only if it's on discount. Okay. Gotta conserve that food budget, you know? Yeah. Actually, this is fun. Just last night, I swallowed a clock. Yeah, just to pass the time. That is a shit joke that takes a while to digest. And after doing it, I had to go see a doctor, and that doctor asked me to pee in a cup, and I asked him if he takes it with cream or sugar, and now I've got to see another doctor. These are jokey jokes, guys, and I love doing them. It's 10 years I've been doing these jokes, and it's really like my favorite thing. It's just a harmless joke because it's a fun joke. I like to tell those jokes. And I've got to do some awesome things with it in the past 10 years. I've got to tour the country, perform internationally. I co-founded Very Good Comedy Show, which produces comedy shows that are very good. Yeah, tonight's actually the first special that we're taping under that umbrella, and I can promise you it is going to be the very best show that any of you see all night. All right. Yeah. I gotta travel between New York and LA. I gotta live for a bit between New York and LA, and was making my money solely off of entertainment work in my early 20s, if you can count serving drinks at a comedy club as entertainment work, which I did. And then that breakup with the Australian bikini model happened, and I became very depressed. If you have not been depressed before, what it feels like is the energy I just created in this room. In your head all the time. And one of the ways I thought I might be able to get through it is by going back to my Christian roots and starting to do some service work. So that's what I do now, along with doing comedy. I also work in a group home for developmentally disabled adults because I am the hero of this narrative. Yes, thank you, thank you. It's good work, I like it, love it, actually. I have 24 residents with a whole array of disabilities. Some don't walk, some don't talk, some voted for Trump, and I help take care of them. I do. I get them up in the morning, make sure they're fed, bathed, take them on different appointment runs. I essentially play surrogate father to them, kind of like Joseph to Jesus. And I do want to make very clear right now, I am in no way comparing myself to Jesus Christ, okay? I'm comparing myself to Joseph, the saintly surrogate father of Jesus Christ Almighty, our Lord and Savior. Amen. I bet y'all didn't think this was going to become church, huh? I'm going to start singing in Latin next, and then we're going to serve some crackers. I just like Joseph learned from his oddball bundle of joy. So do I learn from my residents. I've taken a lot of solid moral lessons from them. I've got this one dude, Adam is his name, sticking with the biblical theme. And Adam has Down syndrome. He's in a wheelchair. He's got a catheter bag, and he's my friend. Every time I see him, I say, Adam, my friend. And he goes, my friend. And I go, how are you? And he goes, happy, which I think is fucking awesome, right? And despite all the adversity, getting poked and prodded by doctors on a daily basis, whenever you see Adam, he'll still tell you that he is happy. That's awesome, right? And it makes me think, what the fuck do I have to complain about? Yeah. Which reminds me, there are parts of that job I would now like to complain about. So that's it. Like shit. Shitty parts of the job, like actual human shit. Got another dude, Dwayne. He's in his mid-40s, 6 feet tall, $180 pounds. He has mental retardation, profound mental retardation. That's his actual medical diagnosis, profound mental retardation, profound. Like he's on to something. And Dwayne will do this thing sometimes when it's not feeling too hot, where he'll just push his way back from the dining room table. He'll stand up, he'll drop trowel, and he will take a massive shit in the middle of his dining room floor, which is very frustrating for me because I'm trying to make him a more proficient person. Meanwhile, this motherfucker with this big old shit already has a dining room in Manhattan, so might be onto something, huh? He's also got 10 hot Jamaican nurses that take him to a walk-in shower and sponge bathe him afterwards. Pretty profound, right? Guys, most New Yorkers do not have a dining room in Manhattan. Most New Yorkers have one room in Manhattan, and it can double as a dining room and a living room and a bedroom and a kitchen and a study, and in some cases a bathroom, and in that case, Dwayne is on point, right? Yeah. 10 hot Jamaican nurses that sponge bathe him afterwards. Pretty fucking cool. Good life.
Where do I sign up?
I'll link you after the show. I do work with mostly Jamaicans. Do we know Jamaicans? Yeah. Great people. Great people. They speak Patois around me, and I'm going to be honest, I do not know who I have a harder time understanding, my residents or my Jamaicans when they're speaking Patois. Some of the most colorful curses in the world, right? Like bumbleclot. You heard bumbleclot? Like there's a bee stuck in your artery. Bumbleclot. The other one they say is you suck a your mudda. I've got hit with that one before. You suck a your mudda. When they're really upset with me, it's you suck a your mudda's cock, rabbit. You suck a your mudda's cock. You suck a your mother's cock. And then I have to be like, nuh-uh. I don't suck a my mother's cock. My mother doesn't even have a cock. And if she did, I wouldn't suck her. Suck her, your mother's cock. I didn't know what that meant. I had to ask them. They explained it to me. And in Jamaican culture, you can correct me if I'm wrong, the women want the men to be very virile, right? Very in control. So in the group home, if I ask one of my female coworkers what I can do to help out, in some of the Jamaicans' eyes, that can make me seem demasculated, subservient to women. Thusly, I suck on my mother's cock. Which can be difficult for me because I am part of what people call the snowflake generation, which means I'm going to be perceived as being overly sensitive and underly masculine, which, if I'm being honest, kind of hurts my feelings, okay? Sometimes I'll be like, hey, I'm not a snowflake. Yeah, I'm a snowman. Ah, yeah. Ice runs through these veins. Okay, yeah. They also use the N-word a lot in the group home. The N-word. They use it so much that Dwayne, dude I was telling you about earlier with the big shit on the floor, he has learned one 2-syllable word. It is the N-word. This dude's whole vocabulary, it's yes, no, huh, and the N-word. And for us in the group home, it means nothing. Like, we're so used to it. We think he's just heard it so much. It's like, oh, who is this guy? Is that me? Is that you? I don't know. It's just curious fellow. Where it becomes a problem is whenever we go out into the public on 125th Street in Harlem, and there's a lot of people around, and he gets excited, and he starts yelling it. And then some old hood cat gets in my face and is like, do you teach him this, white boy? You think this is funny? Which, kind of. A little bit, but I can't say that, you know. And also, it's fucked up with that guy to assume that just based on that color of my complexion, you know. But then I can't accuse him of racism when it looks like I invented it, so I have to let it slide. But then he's yelling, so Dwayne's getting more excited, and he's yelling louder, and I need to de-escalate the situation, and I don't want to have to wrestle this guy, but I also don't want to look like I suck on my mother's cock, so I'm in a bit of a pickle. What I do is I just warn him. I'm like, dude, I make one phone call. The other 4 members of my boy band show up. And we will dance battle the shit out of you, okay? Uh-huh. And then Dwayne takes the shit and throws it on him, and it's all good in the hood, you know? Profound. Mm-hmm. The end. And that's my closing joke, guys. And it is, thank you. Thank you. I'm not done talking yet, though. It is the last joke, but, you know, it's a special, so I want to end it feeling special. I want to tie it all together. That's what I've learned, that last joke in this last 10 years. Not to throw shit on people. But that if it does happen, whenever shit happens in this world around me, just to relax and to laugh at it and to enjoy it a bit more. Guys, I used to take this comedy so seriously whenever I first started it. So intensely serious. I thought, oh, I always have to be funny. I always have to be on. I stressed myself out over it so much. And I think in the last few years, I've been able to actually recognize how to just relax and enjoy and appreciate the funny in the world around me. The little moments, you know, the little shows, as well as the bigger ones like tonight. So thank you again all for coming here and being here to support it. This is truly the better than worst. And I want you all to know that I am now more happy, and I hope that you are as well. Thank you.
One more time for Robert Punchur. Are you guys ready for your next comedian? Just kidding. Get your asses out of here. Pay your bill. Give Robert a hug. Thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. For the rest of the Very Good Comedy Show team, thank you guys for coming down and supporting Tenure. I'm not sure what she said, but She was probably yelling at somebody. But anyway, get your shit, get out of here. All right, thank you guys so much. Love you all.
Well, one more shot for the cameras. We still have it on. I forgot to say this.
Thank you, and tip your wait staff well. Okay.
Does anybody want an orange?